Hey guys, Brent Gallagher here, Avenue Fitness in Houston, Texas, and today we're asking that question of, are you mastering the basics? The basics, they don't sound cool, they don't sound hip, they're not sexy, they're not stuff that's gonna get you into the newspaper, on the news stations. It's not gonna bring recognition into your facility on a day-to-day basis. But I promise you, when you start asking yourself this question, hey, are we mastering the basics? What you'll do is to begin to impact the community around you, your immediate street, so to say. So if you're thinking about if you could just own your street, your block, your community that you serve, that 2 to 3 mile radius that would possibly walk into your facility versus worrying about trying to chase bigger things, maybe outside and look into the social media to try to bring things in. Maybe are we looking internally here in our 4 walls of saying, hey, are we even mastering these basics yet? And so sometimes I think is when we look at this, we go, are we mastering the basics around these simple things? The people that are continuing to commit to us, to invest, they're sacrificing their time, their sweat, their effort, their soreness, sometimes their time away from their family, their time away from being able to do work, their time away from their hobbies, the stuff that they truly love to do. Are we honoring this by asking the simple question, are we mastering the basics? So every time we ask this question, hey, we mastering these basics, we're taking a look at our clients, the ones that are there that are loyal to us day in and day out. We're not just cleaning up the floors just to make sure it looks good for someone new walking in the door. We're making sure that we are speaking directly to these people who continuously trusted us to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to put my health and my fitness in your hands, and I'm going to expect you to build an experience around me coming back over and over again, because one day what I'm going to do is my loyalty, I'm going to invite a friend to come in and join me here. So for us, we kind of have 5 old school kind of principles, I say timeless stuff that never truly fades away when it comes back to mastering these basics. And the first one starts with personal responsibility. There's this deep sense of this personal responsibility to take care of each and every single client that walks through our door. We see about 150 people a day within our 30-minute model, our small groups, 1 to 4 people flowing into our facility. And we have to say is, though lots of these people have been coming to us for 5+ years, do we still honor it every single day that they walk into our facility, that we are mastering these basics? We are taking care of their every little need. We are anticipating their needs before they see it. We've gone ahead and cleaned up the bathrooms and looked at the vent above the bathroom and said, hey, you know what, that needs some cleaning. Behind the door needs some cleaning. We're looking for every little nook and cranny that we can possibly think of to say, hey, are we taking care of the small little details? Next one is to be humble. And when we look at that, we're saying, hey, it's this ability to serve someone in such a way that they just go, wow, that's beyond what I expected from a training facility. When I'm coming in to work in a fitness environment, you're just expecting sweating and screaming and grunting and dropping weights and throwing all around. But can we still humble ourselves to serve our clients on a day-to-day basis? Again, it goes back to that personal responsibility of taking care of the small details, the small needs that they might, I think maybe in their heads they're thinking about, but you're going to go ahead and take that one step advantage and ahead of them, and I'm going to meet that need. I can anticipate what they're already thinking in this moment here in this one. The next one we look at is this work ethic. Is there a deep sense of, I think it goes back into the being humble, but the humility to be able to work your socks off day in and day out, to go back to serving, to go back to taking that personal responsibility to meeting the needs of every single person that walks in your door, regardless if it's 5 a.m. in the morning or 5 p.m. in the evening. Do we have that work ethic? If it's your only person at 5 a.m., you don't have somebody else again until 9, or if it's your only person at 5 p.m. in the evening and you don't have someone for another couple hours after them, how do we treat that person when they're walking in the door, or that group of people when they're walking in the door to work out with you here? Kind of getting close here to the end to round things out. Number 4 here is we're simply looking at saying, hey, can we embrace this challenge? True success comes from stepping up and taking on the hard challenges. And the hard challenge that I face, that you face, that we all face in this industry is the poor health and fitness levels of the people that are walking into our door to basically say, hey, I need help. I need your leadership. I need your guidance. I need your coaching. I need your mentoring to help me embrace this challenge, to say, I've got to get through it. It's a struggle. A lot of times it's not necessarily an eating problem or a workout problem. It comes up to our ears. It's what's happening in between our ears. It's that negative voice voice that we kind of constantly keep answering to day in and day out. So can we step up and embrace this challenge of saying, hey, this is a basic need that people need to get met when they walk in our door? And then the last thing here is it comes down to simplicity. And simplicity is this, you've heard this quote before, simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. And it's one of those things that go that, sometimes we look at something simple and we don't think it's credible. We don't think it is something that's worthy of people investing into. But I challenge you with this to say, to make something simple, to take away all the extras, to edit the fluff, as I like to say, is to sit there and to look at it and go, what does not need to be there? And only leaving the remaining few pieces. It goes back to something like the iPhone. There's one button on it. They took time to edit, to take away all the other buttons in there, to simply look at this and say, hey, what is the simplest version that we can give to someone and allow them to be able to achieve some success? For us, as we boiled it down to kind of three simple things of, hey, if we sleep more, if we eat better, you don't have to eat perfect, but if we eat better, all we have to do is train less. And that's our 30-minute model here at Avenue, is that we've built this around very simplistic saying, when we tackle sleep, we start eating a little bit better. It just goes hand in hand. You sleep more, you eat better. When you eat better, you don't necessarily have to go into the gym and grind it out and kill yourself day in and day out, only adding in more stress on top of a body that's only sleeping 5 to 6 hours, which is a lot of stress, which then leads you to overeat because of the hormonal response, which then leads you to wanting to train more to work off all the food that you're eating because that you're not sleeping right. So you can see it kind of gets mixed up in this vicious circle. So I want to challenge you with this. Take this video here, share it with your team, and then ask them this question saying, hey, are we as a business, are we as a training facility, a training studio, or a bigger box gym as our personal training department, are we mastering the basics? And that basics to you are going to be different than maybe my basics here at Avenue for our team and our community that we serve. But the key thing is, though, is are you mastering the basics that are relative to you, to your community that you serve on a day-to-day basis? It's not simple, it's not easy, it's not something that just comes overnight, but I think when you sit down with a piece of paper, you get your team in a room together, you give them 5 minutes to kind of write through, hey, what would be our basics? And then how we hold these up and say, how are we performing against these basics on a day-to-day basis? What are we truly measuring here? What are we trying to get better at? And where are we skipping over that basic step? But before you run, you have to crawl. And before you crawl, you have to even learn how to sit up. And so we want to kind of like pull things back to say, what is that basic level of just simply stepping up and sitting up within our business? Because once we start to master that, then we can have that foundation for the crawl, and then for the walk, and then for the run, and then just excels from there. So challenge yourself with this. Ask this question. Are we mastering the basics? Reach out to me, Brent at AvenueFit.com. Ask me any questions that you might need, or even how you can begin to walk through this with your own team. And again, like I said, you can even share here in the comments below. Let me know how it works out for you, for your team along on this journey. See you.